In our next exercise we're looking at a more difficult calculation in F. Namely, we have some kind of a music record that's been put out. Its initial popularity is 100,000 and the number of people buying it is rising by 10%. 100,000 is the popularity in the first period, and the popularity raises by 10% until the fourth period, in which it stays the same, and then in fifth and sixth period it falls by 10% because the song is already not as popular. And now we have to write one if that deals with all these situations, and we begin by writing equals initial popularity, which is this 100,000. Now to the second cell we write equals if, parentheses begin. And now we want to know whether the current period number, and here it is, D8 is the period number, and we want to know if this period number is less than if it's less than the number at which the popularity peaks. If it is less than the number at which popularity peaks, then we will be raising the popularity, so we write semicolon, and now here it comes. It takes the previous popularity and multiplies it with parentheses 1 plus 10%, and it raises by 10%. Okay, now the next thing is, in the fourth period it stays the same, and in the fifth and sixth it falls, which means that we have all in all three options: raising, staying the same, falling, which means that we need two ifs, because right now we have only written into this first if, we have only written the first option, raising popularity. We still have this constant and declining popularity to distinguish between, which means that here is the third part of this if. The first part of the if is the comparison, the second part is what to do. Now comes the third and final part, and since we have still two options to distinguish between, we write semicolon if and start distinguishing by writing the logical test is if D8 equals the period when popularity peaks. Then it's really simple. Then it's semicolon and the previous value is remaining the same. And now semicolon. And now let's check this out. In the first if, this was the condition. This was what to do. The third part, what to do in the other case, is the entire second if. So this all here is the second if. Now the next thing to do is to see what's inside the second if. Second if also has a comparison of staying the same, then the staying the same popularity itself, and now the third part. And if we reach this third part, we already know that it was not the popularity raise, it was not the popularity staying the same, but rather declining. So kind of when we come to that last part of the second if, we already know that the third option happened. So we write equals previous one times parenthesis 1 minus 10%. And here it is. This is our formula. And we can copy it, and as we see, it raises it until the fourth period where it stays the same, and then it falls in the fifth and sixth period. Now we can draw a graph here. We just select these and insert a line graph, and here we have it. The popularity going up, staying the same, and falling. So we can really master more than two options with an if 3 with 2 Fs, 4 with 3 Fs, and so forth. And here we've also used more difficult calculations wherein we, for instance, check the period number from above and then correct the monetary value from just to the left and so forth.